Hello, this is Letitia Hawkins bringing you another interview with a graduate of an historically black college university from Rho Delta Omega chapter, Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Today I will be speaking with Juakita Berkley. Hello, Juakita.
Hi, Letitia. How are you?
I'm doing great. Juakita is a graduate of Florida A&M University, and she is going to talk to us about her experience there and how it has shaped her life and career since graduation. So let's start off, Juakita. When did you graduate?
So I graduated from Florida A&M in August of 1997.
Okay, and what did you major in?
I majored in English and I minored in education.
Wonderful. So, what made you choose Florida A&M?
Well, I chose Florida A&M because growing up in Pensacola, Florida, which is about 200 miles away from our capital city, Tallahassee,
Okay.
I had high school teachers, I had godparents, support in my community who were graduates of Florida A&M. So that weighed heavily in my decision to attend there. Because it was a school that was highly talked about and advertised and supported. I also attended homecoming games as a child. There's a picture of me sitting in my diaper on the football field.
Oh,
So
how cute.
kind of from an early age, I knew that's where I was going to be.
So that brings to home for me how a lot of people talk about historically black colleges and universities being like a family, a community, and it's nice to know that in a time when we have students who wonder if HBCUs are right for them, that you actually have role models and influencers who set a tone for you that you actually went to an HBCU.
Absolutely.
And a local one too.
Yes.
So that's wonderful.
Yes.
So tell me about your time there.
So as a student at Florida A&M, I had the opportunity to meet wonderful friends who I'm still friends with to this day. My roommates and they were from other cities in Florida, but we met during our first week of school at FAMU. So imagine your parents helping you get your dorm room together and
Yes.
they leave and it's kind of like, okay, let me find who I can bond with kind
Yes.
of thing. And we would go to the caf every day and have meals together. I even had a class with one of them. So we it was sort of like, you're dropped into this new place and you just quickly learn to adapt and you form these bonds and friendships because everybody's going through the same thing at the same time.
Okay.
So even though it's been years since I was a freshman at FAMU, I still maintain those friendships with those first roommates.
Okay, and you talked about having classes with some of them. So what were your classes like? And do you feel like your classes prepared you for whatever your future goals were?
Absolutely. So my classes, because I was an English major, were a lot of writing and literature classes. But overall, the teachers approached students, I think, a little bit different than what you would get at a PWI or predominantly white institution,
Okay.
because it felt like family. It's like each teacher saw potential in their students and they wanted to nurture that potential and bring out the best. And when they saw opportunities that you could benefit from, for me, I did take some journalism courses.
Okay.
So I had an opportunity to do an internship through the journalism school's office. And
Okay.
those types of opportunities, I'm not saying would not be afforded to me if I were somewhere else, but the fact that teachers saw an interest in a particular area that I had, and they helped me be able to find experiences in that area, I benefited from greatly.
That's wonderful. So what were your career goals when you entered school?
So when I entered Florida A&M, I knew that I wanted to do something with writing, and I knew I wanted to be a teacher.
Okay.
But I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to be like a college professor or if I wanted to be like a middle or high school teacher. But I knew whatever I did, it would have something to do with writing and reading. So
Okay.
when I decided to major in English, it was a great opportunity for me to learn more about literature and writing, but it also gave me an opportunity to take some education courses to see if teaching was something that I truly wanted to do.
Okay.
If I did, I'd have that option. So that's what I did. I graduated and became an English teacher.
Wonderful. So I like hearing how not only did going to Florida A&M prepare you for your future goals, but you were also able to get internships And so that is really important to students. So, because a lot of times you go into school not knowing what you really want to do, and it's the work experience along with your courses that help you better decide what you're going to do. So it's nice to hear that not only does it appear that attending an HBCU is relevant, but it also has the resources needed to prepare you to be successful.
Absolutely.
So what were some of your favorite memories from Florida A&M?
So some of my favorite memories were attending the homecoming games. That was always like a highlight, because the kind of the joke at HBCUs is nobody really goes to watch the game. It's all about the halftime.
Yeah. What you're wearing.
Absolutely. So that was definitely a highlight, and I've had a chance to take my children back so they could kind of have that experience too.
Okay.
So that's a memory that I will always have, and that each time I go back, you get a chance to see people that you've met. I was very involved with my campus church there.
Okay.
It wasn't part of the campus, but it was a college geared congregation. So I was able to make friendships and connections there, and when I go back to Tallahassee, though not often enough, I'm able to reconnect with those people who were part of that formative time in my life.
Okay, so since graduating, what has life been like for you, and have you made any career changes, or what have you done since, and have you also been able to give back as an HBCU alum?
So since I graduated from Florida A&M, I became an English teacher, and I taught middle and high school English for a while. I then went back to school and received my master's degree in educational administration, and became a high school assistant principal. And then after working as an assistant principal for a while, my husband was in law school at the time.
Okay.
We started having children, and from there I became a stay-at-home mom. During my time as a stay-at-home mom, I was also, and I still am, a volunteer in my children's schools.
Okay.
So I'm able to share Florida A&M as well as to talk about other HBCUs to students here in California who may not be aware that HBCUs exist and just how important that they are. So I try to, in all that I do, help students understand that this is an option for them, and it's one that they should really consider.
Well, that's wonderful. I just like how, as I do talk to other graduates of HBCUs, that they think mentorship is important. And we are out here in California, and there are quite a few students who don't have that much experience or knowledge of HBCUs. So it's nice that you do find ways to spread the word about HBCU excellence and the opportunities that are available at HBCUs. So before we finish our talk, is there anything else that you would like to impart to our listeners, or any students who might want to know something great or that they didn't know about attending an HBCU?
Definitely. First of all, thank you so much for watching this video. And because you are, it means that you may have an interest in attending or learning more about HBCUs. And I would strongly suggest that you consider Florida A&M if you are a high school junior or senior and you're trying to figure out where you want to go. And not just Florida A&M, of course, there are many other HBCUs that you can consider. Spelman form. But do some research. Talk to people. You'll be surprised at people who may have attended or know someone who attended. Look online. You can Google and find out who are some people who graduated from Florida A&M. There are lots of movie producers and actors and singers and lawyers and doctors and politicians. You'd be surprised to know how many got their start at an HBCU. It's the perfect place, especially if you're an African American male or female, to get that foundation, that nurturing that you need to help you succeed beyond undergrad. So I would strongly recommend that you attend an HBCU, but if not, at least do some research and consider it as an option for your education.
Thank you, Juakita. Your message was very profound and very relevant, and I hope that people get a better understanding that an HBCU is a place where you can be all that you can be. You can go to any other postgraduate school that you want, and you can reach your career goals. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
And have a great day.
The same to you.